podcast called Sooshi Mango?
Well, this is about to say that.
Hey, Anthony, where'd you get this podcasting stuff from?
It fell off the back of a truck. We're back on another episode of Breaking Bread. I'm here with my podcast partner, Sal the Voice.
How you doing?
And today we're here with Sooshi Mango.
Hey, how you doing?
How you doing over here?
Over here.
Yeah.
Joe and Carlo Salanitri. Is that right?
Oh, close.
What did I say?
Salanitri.
You know, I said it really good before, but
You said it beautiful.
that was before we were running around all day. I think that was before we ate the sandwiches.
It was before.
That's what happened.
Yeah, too much sodium.
And Andrew Manfre.
Manfre, you got that right.
Those names coming from some islands off of Sicily, paisans, but they're Italian-Australian. So coming all the way from the land down under is Sooshi Mango.
Hello.
A lot of exciting news. You guys are coming to do a show here in New York, February 28th at Town Hall. Did you want it?
Nah. Nah.
This is a smoke zone. This is a smoke zone.
No, but
Yeah, you could smoke.
What do you got over there, man?
You could smoke, curse. I
What
don't
is
mind curse. I'm not shy.
a little thing of cocaine. By the way, I just want to put it out there, if anyone is watching, if you are watching and you want to watch something, how good are these tracksuits?
Hey.
Hey, shout out to the garage.
We spent $1,000 on these.
We spent a grand-
1,000 Australian dollars, which is
Australian
about
dollars.
$5 US.
Yeah.
So come to the show because we need to sell tickets.
We had
now.
ourselves quite a day, boys.
We had
Yeah.
ourselves quite a day.
long.
We started, I don't even remember. We started at Mario's Meats and Deli in Middle Village, where I ate mozzarella while you guys made videos.
Yeah, I saw that.
That was really great. Then we I ate mozzarella. Then we made it to Fortunato Brothers Bakery in Williamsburg. Biagio took great care of us over there. Watching you guys in character all day was such a treat because I've been watching it from afar for so long.
Sure.
I mentioned to you guys that one of my favorite videos you guys have ever done was one of your earliest videos. You guys, they were mentioning like this was so long ago.
Yeah.
How many years ago was the video of the three ladies? Now, what are their names?
Giuseppina, Camilla, and Angela.
Giuseppina, Carmela, and Angela.
Yeah.
So
And I think
Giuseppina, Carmela, and Angela.
It was something along the lines of,
Right.
your son no go with my daughter. No,
Yeah.
what is it?
I think I can recite it
You
word for
said
word
I
for you
find
guys.
I found the
I
wallet.
found the wallet of your son in my daughter's room.
Yeah.
My son no go with your daughter.
Wow.
Your daughter's a bitch.
That was my line.
You say my daughter's a bitch. The best part of this is you deliver a line shortly after that.
Yeah.
Where you just go right at them.
Bitch.
It's incredible.
It's about the video is based on just bickering about sons and daughters, and then them getting to just getting at each other. The mums getting at each other's throats, and the part I liked was when Angela didn't understand why she called him a bitch, her a bitch, and I had to explain that if she call your son a son of a bitch, that's a mean she call you bitch. She called me bitch. She called you bitch. She called me bitch. And I can't believe you guys recite that video. Like I can't believe it. It's because it's an old video, and
I think you guys might be underestimating your popularity over here.
100%.
really.
Yeah, really.
Yes, I definitely, prior to have met you, I definitely have seen a lot of your stuff. It's been everywhere. It's been on my client's account. It's been on my account.
And especially in the last couple of years, since COVID and the lockdowns and that kind of boost on social media. And I definitely want to get into all that. But first I want to talk about how you guys know each other. Well, we know how Joe and Carlo know each other.
Is Trace a truck about to drive through the window?
The garbage truck at 9 p.m.
You know what's funny?
Welcome to New York.
Not to get off track, but they're staying in Times Square, and they said, we have never stayed anywhere louder in our lives.
All you hear is,
I'm
fucking walking
And that's Wednesday.
Yeah.
We were talking about how in New York the cop cars all have the rumbler siren where you feel it in your feet.
I didn't know what that was.
It's true.
Yeah,
That's
Joe was like, I don't know what that was.
Yeah.
You feel the siren in your knees.
Absolutely.
It's for all the people walking around with headphones in now all the time.
Yeah.
To get their attention, to keep them from walking off a curb.
I just thought the sirens were broken. I didn't know what was going on.
No. Yeah, New York is a crazy loud place.
Man,
And
It's my first time.
right.
I've been wanting to come for so many years, and it's my first time.
I've been telling the boys for years because this is my third time here. I've been telling them, when you guys get to New York, as soon as you set foot in New York, you will feel something that you don't feel anywhere else. I mean, I've been to Philly, Vegas, LA, and New York, and New York just feels like home. There's a passion. There's something about New York and New Yorkers that's just magic. And as soon as those guys got off at the airport, they felt it.
I was very skeptical. Sorry, I was very skeptical. I thought, yeah, whatever. Until I landed, and within 5 or 6 hours, like there's something very uniquely New York, which I've never experienced. The passion.
Oh yeah.
The smell of shit in the
identity
street.
here.
No, but see, okay,
That's part of it.
There is a
It is
whiff.
part of it.
There is a waft of
that's-
sewage that pops out.
There's 13 different smells every 20 steps.
That's
but
what I
it's
think
a different
makes New Yorkers so proud
Yeah.
and so unique is that this is a tough fucking place.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
the smells, the crazy people,
Yeah.
But
the
you know-
taxes.
No tax. We got
Traffic.
nothing
The
on
noises.
Yeah,
tax.
oh, that's
Tax,
true.
don't worry about that.
Right.
No one
But
touches us.
So the thing is that you guys not take it for granted. This is your home. Okay, you live here. This is where you're from, born and raised. With us, we've only ever seen it on a movie screen or on the TV at home. So the thing, like you talking about, we were on the Van Wyck before,
Right.
and then the Van Wyck was something that we heard on Seinfeld.
Right.
Right,
It's a daily nightmare for
and
us.
that's right.
Yeah.
Don't take the Van Wyck to the airport. No, you got to jump on this other one.
Yes.
And we were on it today, and that for me, I was going to Carlo. We're on the Van Wyck, man. You know, like that's.
I'm so ignorant that I thought that when you'd say, take the 34th, 86th Street, I thought that was all bullshit. I didn't realise your streets actually were called
What?
34. I don't know. I just thought it was something they made up in the movies. So like, everything's a number.
And
36.
I didn't think he was
Today-
being serious either. I don't know directions like that.
Andy
Sounds like a
goes to me
UPS.
today. Hey, you know when they say breaking balls, they really mean breaking balls.
Again, I thought it was an
thought it was
expression,
an
just
expression
as a
in the
movie
movies.
thing. I mean,
What do you know, man?
who says breaking balls, you know?
No,
you
we
guys
break
actually say
balls.
breaking balls,
Break
you know?
balls.
Yeah. That's why Anthony called this podcast Breaking Bread, because he couldn't call it Breaking Balls.
Honestly, yeah. I mean, to be blunt.
I mean, and Breaking Balls is also very, I won't even say a uniquely New York thing, but a uniquely Italian American thing.
Absolutely.
For our grandparents and for our parents, frankly, they didn't have an easy start here.
No.
So breaking balls and leveling everyone down and humbling each other is kind of how you get along. It's kind of how you know that you're all right.
I was going to say the interesting part though that we realised as we're talking to some people, the Italians have been here longer than what the Italians have been in Australia. So when we were watching you guys, watching America, Italians are part of the fabric. So we're watching people like De Niro, Pacino, the Sinatras, all these people. And you take Italians out of America and pop culture, and it's pretty bleak. But in Australia, there weren't that many Italians on TV that we could look up to, so we would look to America. Do you know what I mean? It was different for us because the Italians came in the 50s and 60s, but the Italians in America came in the
really early,
1920s or like 1900s or
earlier. As early
Earlier.
as
18
the
something.
mid 1800s.
Yeah, there
you go.
Wow,
Absolutely.
yeah. The earliest
50s,
Italians.
60s, 90s.
The earliest
New
Italians.
Orleans, the Sicilians were immigrating into New Orleans with citrus, with the oranges and the lemons
They
from
came in the
Sicily.
citrus. They came in. Just
Yeah.
smuggled in the citrus.
Piss on the lemon.
They smuggled themselves in underneath the orange. Yeah.
But that was the difference. So when the Italians came back then, they probably copped a little bit back then. But by the time we were in the 80s, we were born, it was sort of still racism was kind of still there, and we were still, on the outer skirts. But by the 80s, you guys were flourishing, man. You had like all these actors and singers.
Yeah, we still have the Olive Garden, and that's pretty racist.
Yeah. We've heard about this Olive Garden. I saw one the other day, and I was like, I almost took
Unlimited
money.
breadsticks.
Did
It's so
anyone
bad.
take you there?
Yeah.
We
Anyone take you guys there?
Unlimited breadsticks.
We know not to set
Unlimited
foot in there.
breadsticks.
You know
Well,
what's funny?
I feel like we need to go there just
no.
because
We need to go in there and spit on the floor and
You
leave.
need to do a skit.
Yeah.
What's funny is a
need
lot
to do a
of
skit, that'd be funny.
people, a lot of people who hate on like East Coast New York Italians because we're very over the top. A lot of people who hate on us, and say like we're a caricature of Italian culture, have never been to Olive Garden apparently. 'Cause that is a caricature of Italian culture.
Have you been? Have you been?
Oh, I've been to one.
You've been to an Olive
I've
Garden.
been to
never
one.
been.
You have to go.
And-
It's like it's like going to a museum. You have to go. You have to see what these people are trying to do.
Because I feel the only reason they're in business is because everyone makes a joke of them, so they're just open.
No, it's because there's parts of this country that Italians said absolutely not. Italians went to Tennessee and said, "Yeah, we're good." They left West Virginia, coal mining in West Virginia, went to Tennessee and said, "Nah, you can keep this place."
Yeah.
And then they said, "Well, what are we going to do about the Italian food?" I don't know. Put an Olive Garden.
No, but I definitely
find a way to make it work.
Want to shift the conversation to not even just the start of all this, but where you guys come from. Your families are met in Australia because you're from the same island.
We're from.
Sicily.
Well, their mother, my parents are from a group of islands off the coast of Sicily called the Aeolian Islands. Lipari, predominantly my parents, and Stromboli, Joe and Carlo's.
Mum, our dad's from a town called Randazzo, which is Provincia Catania in Sicily.
Good Sicilians. I like
Yeah,
that.
in Sicily.
Catanese is Sicilian.
Catanese. So,
Shout out Tony Napoli.
Tony Napoli.
He's a promoter here. Who's Catanese.
Really?
Oh,
How's
yeah.
that? Tony Napoli from Catania.
Tony Napoli from Catania.
How do you get a name? How does that even work?
Well, it's like Siciliano, Italiano. I know a lot of Sicilianos
The
back home
Calabrese.
that are Calabrese.
Quick question for you guys. What would you say is like the sub-ethnic group of Italians where you live?
Well, there's a lot of Calabrian, there's a lot of Sicilian, then Abruzzese.
You guys are from Melbourne, right?
And we're from Melbourne. But I think in Australia,
Yeah.
full stop, there's a lot of Calabria, Sicily, and Sicilians.
I'd say they'd be
Italian.
50-50. They'd be
No,
on
I
par.
reckon it'd be
Are you saying
Calabrians-
Italian Australians or
Italian Australian.
Okay.
Their
Italian.
origin. And then Abruzzese coming in.
Abruzzese,
third.
Napolitana.
Napolitano.
Yeah, definitely Calabrese Sicilian.
Because like you go to certain parts of this country, over here it's a good mix, but it's mostly Sicilian Napolitan. Then you go to like the Midwest, even into Canada, a lot of Calabrese and Sicilian. So it changes
Right.
depending on where you
Well,
go.
we found, and listen, we've got a massive Greek population in Melbourne.
It's the biggest Greek population outside of Greece.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Really?
Is in Melbourne.
I know. I
Absolutely.
think it's the second, like outside of
Second biggest.
Thessaloniki, which is in Greece.
No, Athens.
No, well, anyway, I thought it was Thessaloniki has.
Anyway,
'Cause Athens-
there's a lot of Greeks in Australia.
right.
Probably too many.
Yeah.
But as far as where you guys are from, they had kind of like community halls
Absolutely.
where
Yes.
people from certain parts
Still do now.
of Italy, so
Absolutely.
Sicilians or maybe even people from a certain part of Sicily
Absolutely.
would gather.
Yeah.
Yes, they got the Calabria Club, they got the Veneto
There's the
Club,
Calabria Club.
got the
It brings all
Isleole
the
Club.
Club Italia.
You guys
there's
have known each other since you're
Abruzzo Club.
kids.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Wow.
Well, that's how we became so close with Andrew because, our parents were part of the same Isleole Club. So we go to the picnics, we go to the dances, the dinner dances.
Literally how we know Andrew
Yeah.
through that
Yeah.
club. Without the club, honestly, without the club,
Probably would.
we would never have met.
Well, I would have met him at school.
Yeah, but you wouldn't have.
But even then,
you wouldn't have had the
The
link,
little connection.
and the connection, and the history. Who knows if they would have ended up friends without the club? Like the club
Right.
brought us together. These clubs are sort of dwindling now. They're not as prominent as what they were, but they're still around.
And we're making a movie about it.
Yeah.
We're making
Are you
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Really?
yeah. About a club, about an Italian club.
That's very exciting.
That's
So we-
dying, and we rally together as our characters and the greater community to
Social club.
Yeah, but it's
Yeah.
about a social. Well, it's not a social club. It's a hall that's under threat because it's losing money, and we're the presidents at the time, and what's happened basically it's based on loosely based on a true story. The Aeolian Club in Melbourne is on Lygon Street in Carlton, and we went in there to rehearse one of our shows one day. All right, we walked in there and we walked in the kitchen, and we smelt something in the kitchen. Just a little bit of napuz.
a little bit
It was
pungent.
It wasn't an Italian food smell, so we were like, "What's this smell?" And we went to the guy. He said, "What's the smell in the kitchen?" He goes, "Oh, we had a
It was a Moroccan wedding.
a Moroccan wedding here, and
They brought their
food.
catering.
So in order to bring revenue to the club,
In
they've
order-
opened it up to the greater
In order-
community. So
Right, because it's a hall.
Yeah, because so back in the day, there was that many Italians that they didn't need to go outside of the community.
Because
But-
this isn't just a meeting place. This isn't just a place where there's picnics and public events. But if you were getting married or you having a christening
Yeah.
and you wanted a place that you could bring your whole family, you would go to the club.
Not only there,
like a
but
nice
they
at
used to
Columbus.
they used to meet.
Kinda like that,
They
yeah.
would meet there a couple times a week, and they would
Right.
order food, and they would do this. But because a lot of people have died off, the club can't survive because it's like, okay, we need to look elsewhere for revenue. Where do we look elsewhere? To the new immigrants that have come in.
Wow.
You know?
Yeah.
So we were like, oh, that's a good idea for a movie, like saving the club. The club's on its knees. It doesn't have the money it has. And we go, something, we can't say what's happening in the script, but something happens to the club. It needs money. We go to war. We go and save this club and do whatever we can to save it. So.
And
I
because
can't wait to see
because
this.
Australia is such a multicultural country, in the movie there's all these different other nationalities who are part of the club, who we all rally together to save the club. So we're into the second or third run of the script at the moment. We got and hopefully be out late 2025
That's incredible.
Yeah.
Well,
That's awesome.
In Australia.
in Australia. We're
Now,
going to try and bring it out.
we're gonna
here,
try
We're going to be able to stream it over here.
yeah,
huh?
we'll sure
Well,
get you-
that's the difference. I mean, we're in Australia. We've got Australia covered. Like Australia, we're at a level where, and I don't say this in a cocky way. But,
Say it.
well, we walk down the street. It's difficult. If we're getting
We're kind of a big deal.
we're a big
Let's
deal.
just-
We're a very big deal.
Yeah.
Hey, I like that. I like that.
They're stars.
In Australia, we have a level of status that's nice. Like it's coming to New York and here, it's almost like we're grassroots again.
Starting
It
over.
really does feel that way. It feels like the old days for us back in Australia. Going, we need to really build here.
So it's very flattering when
It's-
you guys say to
Yeah,
us
so
that
when you
we're
say- yeah.
well known.
They've
here.
gone from Australian Good Morning America to this.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Wow.
Well, listen, man. You've got.
But legitimately.
I don't
But,
mean
you know,
look,
when you're looking at when you're looking at clips on your Instagram, you're looking at clips from big national morning news programs.
Yeah, yeah.
You guys have stardom on a national level now.
But what would you expect? I mean, Australia's 26 million people. You've got double that just here, just in New York City. So we got to start. You got to start somewhere.
It doesn't matter. You've risen
agree.
to a level where your entire country knows you.
Yeah,
That's
it's
a big deal
it's
in
lovely.
itself.
It is lovely.
Now,
yeah.
now, granted, it's not everything, and obviously you guys are destined for international stardom. I mean, they have a whole tour coming up this winter in America. You guys are going to how many different cities in North America? Between
we're going
Canada
to-
and the U.S.?
7, I think it is.
7
Wow.
North American
Yeah.
cities. SushiMango.com.
.com, yeah, sushimango.com.
sushimango.com.
If you've seen any of our videos, pretty much we do sketches for an hour and a half, an hour and 40 minutes on stage, whatever it is.
So
It's a
obviously, you guys are peaking to international levels.
yeah.
This is
100%.
happening.
Like we've actually done. We're putting on a third show soon in Toronto.
That's
London sold 2 shows, and New Zealand's doing very well as well. And then we've got New York, Washington, Chicago, Boston, and LA.
Wow.
And they're all selling pretty well.
The dream is, as always, we said to each other, you know, we wanted to do arenas in Australia, and we achieved that. And then after that, you know, we went straight to Madison. Our head went straight to Madison Square Garden. We're like, oh, that is the ultimate. Like, if to reach Madison Square Garden in New York City is the pinnacle of everything. Because if you can, like I said, if you can make it here,
You can make it
you
anywhere.
can make it anywhere, right? If they
Anywhere.
if they accept you here in New York, then any market will accept you. Like, you know.
So in order to get to the precipice, to the start of Sooshi Mango, we got to talk about, you know, you guys grew up together, right?
Sure.
But there was a time between high school and Sooshi Mango and your troupe. Andrew, we were talking before. You were in your family's scrap metal business.
Yes, I was laundering money through a scrap metal.
That's right. You
Sounds
know,
about right. That sounds about right.
You know what? You want to know something? This is how little Italians change all around the world. You know, I have neighbors who, you know, obviously they got a vowel at the end of the name, and they're real how you doings, and they're in the scrap metal business.
There you go.
You know, carding and scrap metal. You know, like it's.
I did both. I did both of those.
You did both?
Back in Australia, yes, absolutely. I did family business for. I worked 20, maybe 25 odd years.
Did you guys have a slang for that? So when I worked in the electricians union, we used to call it Mongo. Dude, don't ask me why, but it was like a code name for all the scrap metal you would take from work, and you would go and sell it on the black market.
Mongo.
What? Mongo.
It's like stealing, essentially.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes and no.
You're talking.
It's extra.
You're talking to the guy who was trying to run the business and stop people from stealing.
Fair enough. Mongo.
He's going to tell you how you lost all the profit.
Yeah.
Right.
No, what we used to deal with. We used to buy off a lot of Mongo people.
Fair enough. Yeah. So
So we know. That,
I was the
we
guy
know
selling
that,
to you.
I know, like that doesn't. Yeah, I just demolished my house, and then there's a whole truck full of copper. It's like, all right, whatever.
Look what I found. Yeah, I was taking apart a bathroom. I found all this. I found about 2 tons of copper.
I found it under the house. You know?
It was in my bathtub at the bottom. I don't know. It was just there.
And Joe, for 10, 12 years, Joe, you were a singer.
Yeah. Yeah.
Professional singer.
Yeah. I
What?
sang for a long time. Yeah.
You didn't know
Joe
that.
was a
You didn't know.
professional singer.
Are you serious?
Yes.
Yes, I sing. I
mean-
sang for 10, 12 years, professionally, weddings and corporate functions. I emceed.
My
man.
God.
Yeah,
The
before
amount
Joe-
of people that we bump into, the amount of people that know him, like just for emceeing their wedding is outrageous.
Turns out before he was Joe Salanitri, he was Joey Fatone.
Yeah. So yeah, man. So I did that for a very long time, and love. That's a massive part. What you do for your job was something that I aspired to do all my life, but now I wear a woman's nightie on stage.
and you sell more tickets
Yeah.
doing it. Yeah.
So lucky.
Wait, what's a nightie? Like a nightgown?
It's like a nightgown. Yeah.
Night-
No,
Hey,
I might start dressing up in a muumuu and putting a wig on pretty soon.
Now, I got to say that Joe's ability to sing has really opened up the door for us in the shows. We do parodies and whatnot, and Joe leads the way with all that. So it wasn't a waste.
It's
It
fun.
go-
We
it's
do
good.
in this show that we're bringing to North America and everywhere. We do a parody of Jersey Boys, but they're called the Greasy Boys.
Yeah.
And,
I love that.
and we do like a song that called Salami.
Well,
And,
let's pull it back.
but
Sandy.
the-
You gotta.
The falsetto.
You can't give him everything.
The falsetto is
Well-
Salami. You know.
But that's not in this show. That's in
in
another
Sherry?
show. It's in our old show.
No, it's in this show.
You're right. I've had too many bourbons.
Wait, so does that rhyme to Sherry?
Yeah,
Yes.
it's Sherry.
Assuming, yeah.
What, did you hear it?
Yeah.
He's perfectly
no,
on
I
it.
heard it.
It's one extra
I'm
syllable.
not a musically inclined person, but
But
I
it
heard
works.
No, when I say professional singer, so Joe is trying to, like, in the car, but well, it's nothing like what you do. I said, wait a second, but what did you do? Like, what kind of events? He's like, oh, corporate gigs, weddings. And I'm like, but people paid you to go and sing. He's like, yeah.
but
I said,
you-
so yes, you're a
but
professional.
You do shows. You do big with the big band. No,
You
like-
do something I could have never done. You would sing weddings, you would start with standards and then sing a whole 4-hour wedding.
Yeah, yeah.
And
it
get to
was-
the top 40 at the end. I couldn't do. I'm 90 minutes and I'm out. He's like wondering how I'm doing 3 nights in a row. Like all I got to do is 90 minutes and about 20 minutes of shtick, and I'm out of there.
Yeah.
You know?
And I love that. That was the dream for me. But then,
So that was your start,
But the
kind
boys-
of in
yeah.
entertainment.
here's the thing. Carlo and Andrew. I mean, I always give these guys the massive amount of props
Right.
because with our very first show, now Carlo's always been the class clown, the laugh factory right here, right?
Attention was important to me.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, it just I've never shied away from standing up and talking or look at me. I want to make you laugh. I need to have that. So it's
I never
that's
forget.
what driven
Remember
me.
when we worked together at one for a while? We worked at a business together, and we had some. It was like a team group,
Yeah, I remember
thing,
that.
and then we were just going bang, bang, bang.
It was
bang.
like a battle, like between who could get the laugh.
Yeah.
So it
so
became
funny.
what we were presenting was secondary. It was
You
like-
guys were in sales.
Yeah,
Yeah, so I worked for this company, and then he came to work with us, and we had this presentation. It was literally just joke,
Yeah,
joke,
it was
joke,
sick.
outdo each other, joke, up, back. It was back and forth.
Really?
To me, getting a laugh was in school was the most important thing. In a classroom of 30 people, and I would have to, hey, miss that. I'd get kicked out. For that laugh, I get kicked out 100 times every time.
So
Doesn't matter.
between school and comedy, what are you doing? Where are you going from? Like, are you a natural salesman because of this ability to entertain?
I was-
or was there many things that you tried?
No, I was just more driven by. I always want. Well, it sounds a bit stupid. I just always wanted to be my own boss. I didn't want to be.
That's not
dictated-
stupid.
Amen to
That's-
that. No,
that's
amen
why you
to that.
created a little world for yourself,
Yeah.
and now you are one of the top entertainers in Australia.
Yeah, I didn't know what
It's
it was.
not stupid.
It was-
That's everything.
I
Listen,
didn't.
that's a true Sicilian thing to say. Trust
That
me.
too, yeah.
It's a true Sicilian thing.
I just didn't really. I just knew that I was gonna, whatever it was I was gonna make. It was just hustle, get where I had to go, to be my own boss, and then just keep building and building and building and building, and that's it. I ended up. I was in sales. I went and lived overseas for 5 years in London.
Wow.
Did my thing there. Came back into sales. Worked with a friend, and Joe came and worked with us. And then I bought into a lighting business with a friend of mine, and then that kicked off. And during that time, where I was building that business, he was in between, because Joe was in between work at the time and came and worked with us, and he was doing these videos. So Joe, he was the one who sort of lit the flame of he lit the flame with Sooshi Mango, and he's the one who released there was always something. I felt there was always something in us that, there was, I don't know if it was driven by my father. My father was an entertainer. He was the life of the party. It was always something more that we had to give people. But he was the one. He came. He started doing these videos. He showed me this video he did, and then I'd start. And I was busy with my business, and I'd say, hey, maybe you should cut there, and maybe extend that, because we had this innate ability to edit and time comedy. Comedy was just
whatever
the front.
comedy.
Yeah.
Always the front of our life. And Andrew, same thing. Andrew was a scrap metal merchant, but I always remember Andrew as being... Andrew's a bit more of the reserved guy.
No, I'm the guy who's normally hiding in the cupboard.
No, but
normally as
but that's public.
Cupboard, I
That's
like that.
publicly.
When we go back to the hotel, he'll just go in his cupboard.
Publicly,
Cupboard.
this guy.
he's
in the cupboard.
a little bit more... And when you get to know him, he just has this level of comedy that's just... It's outrageous. It's like, and I always remembered him when I was young, because I'm 3 years younger. I always remember him as being just the funniest. I would always look at him and just laugh at these guys together. When I was younger, I was 3 years younger. I would just laugh, and he'd always make me laugh, and
Andrew's got a great rhythm about him.
Yeah.
When you're in a skit, I don't know if you noticed this, your rhythm is almost musical. It's almost like
That's
perfectly
a lovely
musical.
compliment.
The way
yeah.
the way Sammy, right? The way Sammy is very on the rhythm with the ba ba da ba da, It's very, very musical. The way you're right on rhythm, and it lends to that perfect timing. I don't know if you realize that you do this.
I don't. What I'm doing
incredibly
is
sharp.
I'm working with these two, and these two are incredible talented, like two incredibly,
Well,
and they got their own rhythm.
You guys are like,
And I don't have that rhythm, so I got to find a way to go in there.
Funny
And
you say that though, Sal, because comedy is all about rhythm.
So I liken what you guys do, when you guys are as a troupe, and especially how locked in you guys are with each other, like a really great jazz trio. You know, you're listening to each other, you're bouncing off each other, and what comes out in the end is a masterpiece every time.
I think that's why our shows have been so successful, because we all allow each other to have our own solo, to have our own time.
Yeah.
But when I say that, it's like it's all. If we all have a joke, we all have a and it's just constant, and we don't overstep each other. Everything is 100% scripted on stage, and you can't step away from that because it will ruin what's coming up next.
well, so you might. I don't know whether you've performed vocally with other artists. You can't sit there and try outshine
No.
the other guy. You got to work with whatever's there.
Someone's going to make the other one look better. You got to compliment
Absolutely.
each
So
other.
that's what we try and
You
do.
gotta share that.
We try and share the stage and share the comedy, and it's like it's not about competing who's going to be funnier, who's going to be what, who's going to have the funniest
But in
line.
saying that,
we don't
I
do
am
any of
funnier.
that.
I'm the hilarious one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm the underachiever. I'm the quiet achiever. I outshine everyone, but it doesn't look that way.
like
Honestly, it's
he's
about,
like the tortoise. He comes through at the end.
Yeah, that's it.
It is about. It's like we're actually pretty hard on ourselves. Actually,
Yeah.
Really?
yeah. Like if we do something that's off the cuff, like if we go into an interview on a morning show, or if we're doing whatever, and it's unscripted. We always, when we come, I am especially, we always come off and be like, and we weren't in sync that one. We talked over each other. Like you bounced on me, I bounced on you. We should have gone one for one. Listen to each other. And I think it's been 7 years or 8 years. I think over 8 years it starts to, it's all about, because there's three, it's hard. When it's two, it's easier. But there's three, and you got to give everyone a spot. And if something comes to your head comedically and you want to jump in, you got to jump in with what. Otherwise, you'll forget it, right? So if three of you have got to jump in at the same time,
that was a hard thing for me at the start. So because I was the front man for 12 years,
Right.
right? You're the one that has to talk all the time.
but it was hard for. It's hard.
No, but when I say it's hard for me, I would just talk. I thought I got to talk, or not because I wanted to talk, because just you had
Naturally,
had
you're
to
the one who's
react,
going to
yeah.
start.
Yeah.
I
Hate
had
it.
really, and still today, I got to pull myself back.
That's the beauty from video to video. And this is what I'm most excited about in your live show is every time I start watching a Sooshi Mango video, I don't know who's going to deliver the punchline.
That's
right.
true.
And that's what's great and exciting about it is you get to the end and you're like, it was Angela or it was Vince. It's really exciting. And I think, in your live shows to see that happening bit after bit after bit after bit, one after the other.
Yeah.
That's what I'm most excited for.
Yeah, it's good. It's great. Like, we made sure that we try and put a laugh every 30, 40 seconds in the show.
But how do you go from two brothers to three friends as an act together?
Well,
Does that start on social media? Does
Yeah.
that start on stage?
It started
stage.
on social media, absolutely, yeah. And then progressively, we got approached by someone in Australia that had been doing ethnic comedy for quite some time.
And had a following.
Had a following.
Right.
He
Had an
noticed.
He's been around for 20 years,
Yeah,
though.
for
Yeah,
a very long time.
He
Done
had
movies.
30.
TV shows. He done these type of shows on stage for a long time.
He did a big movie. Well, he was in a TV series called Acropolis Now, which is one of the biggest TV series in Australia.
Do you know how Carlo before was saying that we were watching you guys? Nick Giannopoulos was the first one.
And we grew up
Australia
watching him. Yeah.
to put us on the big screen in Australia.
Nick, we'd watched him on TV and on the live screen and perform on stage. He saw one of our videos and was
So this is how he discovers you.
quite
through social
impressed by the video and contacted the boys the page and said,
Well-
"Hey, Wills, do you want to?"
Actually, relates back to these tracksuits we're wearing today, right?
Yeah.
Now, the video that he saw, it was called "Dancing Around the World," and we were portraying, I think, 6 or 7 different nationalities
13, wasn't
or
it?
whatever, however many it was.
the
So we
Indian,
went to the
Russian.
costume store and we spent like $3,000, and this was prior to money coming
We were
in.
making no money at the time, like zero.
Yeah,
It was
like,
zero income. It was just,
there was no money from Sushi Mango coming in, but we just wanted, we'd do anything for a laugh, anything.
It was an investment.
It was an investment, but we just
like these
wanted- we
tracksuits.
just
They're
wanted
investment.
That's why
The grand here.
That's why going to the
Keep safe for me.
New York price.
going to buy
gotta keep it
these,
forever.
it's like
Absolutely.
it's what we do. We don't care. It doesn't matter. We buy the tracksuit for the content because the content is an investment. The content is part of what we do. We go to that extra level. So he saw us in portraying these nationalities, and he was like, "Geez, these guys put a lot of effort into what they do. I want to do a stage show with these guys." So we ended up doing a. Cut a long story short,
he said
you know,
the work ethic. I saw your work ethic, and I saw you guys work hard. And you don't cut corners, and it's true. Like we just make sure, like it's all those 1%ers which people will see. And if someone notices that 1% that cup's not supposed to be here, it's supposed to be here, that makes a difference, And we go mental about it. Carlo's very, very fastidious about it, and I get fastidious about it. We've all got what we call malatia. You know what
Malatia.
malatia
We're all-
Maladies.
we've all got our own maladies.
We've all got our own sicknesses in our
Like
heads.
we rent a house in Australia that's an old school Italian style. We rent that.
Content
Real-
house.
So I
So all
was
those
wondering
Yeah.
if this was like one of your parents' houses.
No,
No, it originally started in the very first shit ethnic dads say, that very first video that kicked it off. They got 10+ million views.
Right.
That one started in my parents' house. We had an hour to shoot. Mum was quite ill at the time, so we said, go to the pokers for a bit. We're going to shoot a vid. We slapped together the costumes in a couple of hours and shot it. And that sadly, that house is gone now. I pulled it down and built some units. Do you call them units here or apartments? What do you call them?
Apartments.
Yeah.
I built
Condominiums?
built some apartments on that block. That house is
Like a
sadly
true
gone.
Goomba.
Like a-
Very, very.
Yeah. like a true Italian do.
Rip it down, build
Built
apartments.
the apartments. But then we hopped from house to house.
Yeah, up to house, and like then we used my mum's house, but mum did a little reno, so it started to look
Not
a
authentic,
new,
you know.
new,
Yeah, yeah,
new
yeah.
Italian, still Italian,
So
but
what-
new Italian.
So this is a content house.
but
you
this is
guys
a
have.
house that
And
we.
to find this house, it took us ages because we were like, everything has to be perfect. I'm talking, we would go into a house and they would be like,
What is the realtor saying? Like you're like, I want a house, but I want it to be very old
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
outdated.
So
No,
they
like,
didn't
what?
know.
It's like
Absolutely.
the antithesis of what people
that what
do.
you-
Well,
when
we,
they rent
you,
a house.
we scoured houses for months because the rest of the house would be fine, but there'd be
A new
a new
Like
oven,
too new.
a new oven,
Listen, you know
modern.
how many
or
houses-
tiles
you know
had been changed.
You know how
It's
many
like, no, not the
houses
right
we
tile.
walked into, right? And we're like, everything's perfect, but the oven's brand new. We can't take it. See you later.
Really?
Yeah, and then we're like, don't
But
you
the
like?
oven's
And they're
brand
like,
new.
yeah, or we'd go in there and they're like, listen, they will renovate the bathroom for you. Like, we don't want it renovated.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
Want it as
We want to
is.
change back, or we go into the bathroom and be updated. We go, can they put the old tiles back in here? And they'll be like, what are you guys trying to do? We're like, you don't understand. See you later. We shopped around for like 8 months looking for this house. Then this house came along, and we're like, they're like, listen.
This is right after your first 2 seasons of shows on the road. With
Oh,
Nick. You
no,
guys
no.
immediately reinvested.
Yeah.
No, we got the house.
We did our own show.
We got
so we did the
coincide.
2 seasons with Nick, and we did like 44 shows, each season. And it was one called Star Wogs and Wogs at Wogs at Work. And then we did our own show. And then after our own show, we were like, well, we were always looking for a house, and we finally found.
So while like Jake and Logan Paul are buying their content house in Beverly Hills, you guys are finding a content house in Melbourne.
yeah,
Yeah.
pretty much, yeah.
One thing I want to touch on that you said that was really interesting to me was that, and I could be wrong, but in America, I don't believe Italian is ethnic, and you were referring to Italian as an ethnic show in Australia,
Yeah.
which I think is really interesting.
Yeah.
Could you guys elaborate on that a little bit?
Wow.
Yeah, well, we back home, we're considered immigrants were ethnics.
Really?
Yeah. So, like, we're ethnic people. We're Greek, Italian, whatever, European, Indian. We're ethnics.
Yes, I bring it back to what you said earlier. I mean, the Italian immigrants were coming to America as early as the
1850s, yeah.
1850s. Well, in Australia, it was the 1950s. There's 100
Wow.
years separation between the flow of immigration to America and then to Australia. So
This is not just for Italians. This is like whether Serbian, Croatian, Lebanese people, all ethnic groups in Australia had this kind of stuff. It's not just Italians. That's why, when we do our content, we're Italian. We use the Italian accent, but we don't say Italian words so we can reach to all of these ethnic groups.
It's
and
off
they all
the boat comedy.
Yeah,
So it's immigrant
They
culture.
identify. Yeah, all
Immigrant
that.
culture.
And that was that's why the show's called Off the Boat.
You guys know an American comedian by the name of Anthony Rodia?
absolutely we
of
know.
course.
So Anthony, when I go to his shows, it's not just Italian Americans in the audience.
No.
It's people of all different backgrounds who have off the boat parents.
Yep.
Because it's all very relatable.
That's
The
right.
immigrant experience is not just unique to Italian Australians, Italian Americans. Like you said, there's a tremendous variety of ethnic groups in Australia, and everything is so relatable for everybody.
Yes.
And that's got to be such an incredible experience at Johnny Vincent Sam's.
Yeah.
But and it's the same experience that you guys recreate live on stage.
Yeah. It's true. It's just I think nostalgia. We stumbled across nostalgia.
Right.
Like when we started doing these things with these characters and these people, we stumbled across nostalgia.
I think it really. I think we were talking about this earlier in the car ride. We spent a lot of time in the car today from South Brooklyn.
Oh my God.
Bensonhurst.
They
Bay
went
Ridge,
to what? 4 of the 5
We went
boroughs?
from Bensonhurst to Morris Park in the Bronx.
Yeah.
Did we?
You didn't go to Staten Island today.
We
That
went
was
to
the only
4 of
borough
the
that
5
you missed.
boroughs today.
You didn't go to Staten Island, that's it.
Brooklyn and the Bronx. You were in 4 of the 5
Whoa.
We had no idea. We had no idea.
Yeah.
where we were
No
going.
idea, man.
We're
We're
just,
just-
Verrazano
we're
Bridge,
just sitting there
Staten
going,
Island.
where the fuck we're
You didn't
going?
miss anything,
You know
though.
what?
You didn't
Yeah,
miss
you didn't
anything.
miss anything.
You didn't miss anything.
So, we were talking about how the pandemic kind of, although it at first was kind of like a stick in the spokes of your momentum that you were building. You guys had just started arenas. It was.
Yeah.
We were
So we did.
But you had just sold arena shows.
We done the theater shows.
Actually,
no, but
Okay.
he's right though.
No,
you had
we
put them
didn't.
on sale.
No, we hadn't.
no.
No, because 2019 was our shows for the thingo, and we hadn't put the arena shows on sale yet. We hadn't.
No, we hadn't, but we had the meeting
Yes.
with our
You were
new
in the
promoter.
process of booking arena shows.
Yes,
That's
we
it,
had
that's
the
it,
we had
that's
the
it.
meetings. I remember where we were at.
You've arrived now at the conversation of
So the
Yes.
we are too
conversation
big for
was-
theaters. We need to do
Yeah,
arenas.
The conversation
cool.
was
This
let's
is-
get together and do an arena show. And
That's
we're like,
really
okay,
cool.
let's do it, and then boom,
COVID.
pandemic.
Yes, that's how it happened.
And then we put everything on ice, and then okay, we're going to do it now. Okay, we're going to do it now. Then we finally released it on the 20th of November 2020. That's when we released it on sale.
But
But then again, we had another year.
we were put in lockdown longer than you guys can imagine.
Right.
We-
With
in America-
365
So it wasn't
days.
the same,
366 days to be
Wow.
exact.
So you had a completely different experience as to what we
How long were you guys locked
I
down?
don't even remember.
I mean, how long
We broke all
before
the rules.
people
You
said,
want me to be honest
screw
with you?
this, we're going to Florida?
Yeah.
Like 2 months.
We broke a lot of rules.
Melbourne was the most locked down city in the world. We broke the record.
We had a curfew.
Really?
We had a 9 p.m. curfew.
We had a 9 p.m.
It was
Yes,
something.
indoor
It
9
was
PM.
something that a lot of the talking heads on the news and the media
Yeah, we
in
were a
America
joke.
were like, "Look at Australia.
I think I remember them
they
saying
have
no,
much
no.
fewer COVID deaths because they've been
No, but no,
locked down for so long."
No.
No, it wasn't so much. Look, the rest of Australia wasn't quite as stringent. Melbourne, where we're from,
Right.
366 days in lockdown, 9 p.m. curfew, 5 kilometre radius travel. So we couldn't travel beyond 5 kilometres of where you were living.
How do they keep track of that?
Well,
though?
the kind of people, they're just relying on the
What,
fact
your
that people
iPhone?
do the right thing.
No, like people were seriously packing
People
their
were
families
panicking
in
and
cars.
staying home.
That
So if you wanted a Coca-Cola, you wanted to go down to the local grocery store and
Wow.
get a Coke at,
If you wanted a
at
Mars bar,
10 past 9. Forget it.
past 10
You
past
couldn't
Wow.
go.
You
couldn't
wanted
go.
a pack of chips
Wow.
that you didn't have in your house or something like that. That's it. And what they would put out in the into the public was, if you tell on your neighbor, you are doing the right thing.
Wow.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, no, it's
that's
like if-
wild.
They're endorsing being a rat.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
100%. 100%.
Stop glorifying rats.
Stop glorifying rats, bro.
That's what
You're
they
in
would
New
do.
York. You take
No,
a
they were
beating
saying
so
if you-
fast.
If you,
You want me to be honest?
if you tell on your neighbor you are doing right by the society, they're doing wrong. You telling us is the right thing.
I saw Anthony walking back from 7-Eleven with ring dings.
I don't even want to say what I did during.
Yeah.
Because I'm not sure what it was like here, but in back at home, if you didn't get vaccinated, a lot of people lost their jobs as a result.
No, that was very similar.
Well,
to New York,
entertain,
at least.
especially like if I had to come to a decision. I'm like, well, listen, if I want to go back to work, if I want to be allowed in a theater right now, if I want to be allowed to put on a show at like 30% capacity, I have to get a jab. And I think things would
That the same thing happened to
Yeah.
us. So we took
begrudgingly took it. Honestly, I would be honest, I didn't want to take it. It wasn't something because I didn't know. It wasn't tested. I just like, you know what?
I think it was the requirement of it
It was
all.
a requirement. We did it.
That
We
was
did it.
that was
Yeah.
strange.
But put it this way: we had sold a bunch of tickets in Perth, so we were touring. Perth was isolated themselves; they wouldn't let anyone into the city.
Right.
And they said, if you want to come into the city, you have to get your third jab. So
Really?
we had
And
sold
we sold
10,000 tickets in Perth. In order to go and get the money that we'd made in Perth, the requirement was, hey, you're forced to take that third jab to get the money that you have worked all your life for.
Wow. So but at this point, Anthony, they've already postponed these shows.
Yeah.
several times.
They've now, the social media has now become an absolute monster, an absolute gorilla at this point.
Post-COVID,
Because everyone's
yeah.
been locked
Because
down.
COVID was good, yeah.
COVID kind of, so
Yeah.
now it's like,
No, it happened. I
it's
wouldn't-
bigger. It's bigger than you could have even imagined, and you're right at the finish line.
Sal, you understand, with Perth, man, Perth.
Wow.
Yeah.
Perth, 7 days before Perth, we thought we're cancelling the shows in Perth and we're postponing it for 6 months. But the promoters all rallied together, and because nothing had happened in Perth, they moved
Right.
all the shows to an arena. But when I say they moved to arena, we were only allowed 2,500 per show in a 15,000 seat arena.
So that's the only thing that saved us.
The only way.
So it was a
Wow.
it was a 15,
It was a loophole.
It was a loser. It was a 15,000 seat theater, and we did so rather than do one show in that arena, we did 5 shows
At 2,500.
at 2,500.
Because they
the
said,
only way we could get
they
to
said you're allowed to have 50%.
Does that make sense?
So we're like, okay, we'll take the 50% because
No, less 30,
There's 25% of the
30%.
So we thought we
Yeah,
could
we
squeeze
had,
them up
we
against
had
the
kind of the
corner.
same numbers for a while. Yeah.
Glad to
Yeah,
know.
I'm not sure.
Be completely honest.
And they were so desperate because they hadn't had any work. The arena hadn't had any work. They were doing deals that they're like, yeah, come in,
Sure.
just do it.
When we got out of the airport-
we'll subsidize it, and we're like, cool. We'll just do these 5 shows, and that's it.
The-
We had to
the-
work
the
more,
city-
but doesn't matter.
Look, the city the place that copped it the worst was a place called Newcastle. So they'd paid money to see our 2019 show, not our Off the Boat, the new one, which went out in 22. Was it 22? It was 22 when went out. They'd paid to see our 2019 show, and because it was the last show of that leg, the lockdowns came in right at the end when we were going to go there. So they waited from 2019 all the way through to the beginning of 22 to see.
You got
They didn't even see the show they paid the money to see. They didn't see that show. We presented them the brand new show.
You got the same stuff, didn't you?
Oh yeah.
You copped it sweet as well.
I was.
You had to move to
playing-
Florida, I heard.
I was playing comedy clubs because the rules for comedy clubs were different for theaters.
Yes.
At one, like it's so strange. Like you can't get sick if you're going to laugh, but if you're going to see music, absolutely not. You're gonna get sick.
So what was the rule? What was it?
Comedy-
Was it up to like a
comedy-
certain amount of people?
Comedy clubs because they served food, like they served like fried foods and bar and drinks. they could technically have a bigger capacity because it's more like a restaurant, and restaurants could have bigger capacities.
That was such a scam.
Yeah.
That was such a scam.
Hey, when we did our first,
How about this? I performed. I did a Christmas show. A shout out to the Murrays, my Irish friends at Mulcahy's bar in Wantor. I performed at like a bar that has mostly country and rock acts, an Irish bar, because they were allowed to have a bigger capacity because of their square footage and the fact that they're actually like they're also kind of like a restaurant. But even so, we had the state liquor authority visiting us and trying to shut it down because there was music going on. It's like, well, people aren't technically here for dinner; they're technically here for the show, so that makes it dangerous. It was such like a rat maze. You know, like to figure out how to get this cheese. You know, it really was a mind bender, which has to be an incredible kick for you guys because here's all this hard work and all this hustling and kind of learning on the fly. You're right at the end of the ski jump.
Yeah.
And then it's like, now we have to figure this all out. Now we have to,
postponed
you know.
6 months. And then we almost doing a show. We prepared for 4 weeks, and we were about to go to Adelaide to do the first one, and then they pulled the rug, and we weren't allowed to go. So we postponed it, and we finally started at the start of 22, January 22. And
so only last year were you guys able to start back up? With this,
January,
Wow.
January 4th. 2022 was our first show in Geelong, and we had to perform to people. They were allowed to fill the arenas.
Yeah.
But they had to wear masks because they were sitting forward in a numbered seat. They were allowed to wear a mask and we were allowed to fill them. But we were getting 50,000 cases a day.
at the time,
At the time, so people were still coming, but they were getting scared. So we're getting refunds.
Yeah, it was
people
crazy.
that had COVID,
It
and
was
then
crazy.
people were buying tickets. People were getting
It was
refunded. Buying
crazy.
I think that's what a lot of my friends and even my family didn't understand about when COVID was over for people who work in normal businesses. It still wasn't over for the entertainment industry.
No.
Because you had people that were scared,
Right.
but then you had people that weren't scared. Like during the shows, I just remember, I still remember those, like going, 100 people refunded, 120 people bought tickets, 80 people refunded, 50 people bought tickets. It was literally going like that.
Wow.
It was
Can
going
you-
like that.
can you imagine
we
performing-
were
I
watching
loved
it.
watching the masks come down
But yeah,
over
well,
the course of a show.
And the masks.
They couldn't police that. Could you
The
imagine?
mask-
halfway through a 90-minute show, people are like, fuck this.
But you would hear
Don't worry
it.
about that.
Our show's 2 hours, by the way. But could you imagine performing a comedy show to laughter that was muffled
was like-
through
No.
It was crazy.
It was that serious.
It was funny, man. Like, but
Oh,
it
yeah.
was muffled laughter. We had 15,000 at one of the first shows, all covered in masks.
Yeah.
Second, the other big show, we had our 2 arenas that we did again, all covered in masks. When we came back and did the encore tour, but it's just to tell you, when we were doing meet and greets, yeah. We had to get people lining up. We were sitting on the stage with the people lining up.
so
They
ridiculous.
would squirt their hands with hand sanitizer, stand on a other side of a rope a meter away from us, so we weren't even touching them.
Okay.
So we couldn't shake their hands. So
could-
the
why
reason
were
for
they
putting
hand
them hand sanitizer, why?
Like, this
They
is
had
the
to put
rules
hand
of the
san- We
venue.
couldn't shake their hands. We weren't allowed
The
to.
hand sanitize, even though you weren't.
No, you
We
don't.
weren't allowed to.
Wow.
You don't
engage.
understand. You had to have a COVID officer there for the tour, otherwise you couldn't.
So when we did the encore, we had a break for 6 weeks, and then we did another run with the same show all around the country again, and just to see all the people's faces again. No masks.
So 6 weeks later, the rules are completely different.
6 weeks. Well, no, it was after the full tour. So we went from January to May, just a full tour, and then as the months went on,
So 6 months later, in other words.
6
Yeah.
months later, we
Yeah.
did a whole run again.
Wow.
And it
we
was.
got
completely-
through it in the end, and I think the people that came, I think the energy people were appreciative that we were doing the shows. I think at one stage we were the only people touring. I think we were the first.
We were the only people touring.
Only people touring. People enjoyed it. All the people were sick of the rules and they loved it and they were laughing and it was amazing.
Well, it's the mark of longevity is making it through this pandemic, and you guys did. Now you're on an international tour, and Anthony, you were saying these guys. Restaurant owners, you're like going through all the things in your head.
Wine as well.
No, like you went to every aspect of like I don't even know what it's called. Like I guess you could say entertainment because like in like a way like owning a restaurant is kind of like being an entertainer. I mean,
I think
it's like an aspect of it.
Well, I think Italians especially, we bond with people. We relate to people through food, through cuisine. We come together at the table.
Yeah.
And it's kind of your way, if you don't mind me saying, it's your way of bringing your fans together with you. Because there's a piece of you guys in that restaurant. That's what I could see.
We're not there.
From the other
but
side of the world.
We're not there, but as soon as you step foot in that place, we don't want to be like people ask us, are you guys ever at the restaurant? We're like, yeah, we pop in from time to time. It's not like we don't want you to come to the restaurant to see us. We want you to go to the restaurant to experience the restaurant. So when they go in there, they feel a sense of us being there and our brand being there through what we've created at the restaurant, if that makes sense. It stands on its own 2 feet, and it's about, it screams Sooshi Mango and whatever, it screams what we're about. Mm-hmm. By stepping foot in there, you understand it, you feel it,
It's a celebration of the Italian culture and more so just the immigrant culture. You got to come, guys. Come to
we looked at each other before, like we're going to Australia.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
I've been dying to go. I just don't know. I'll probably have.
We can organize.
Thanks.
I think the kangaroos are pretty far from where these guys.
Yeah, that's true.
But one thing.
Your wife thinks that we have kangaroos in the backyard still.
Oh yeah. This is
What are they, your pets, cuz?
my wife. See, for those of you who don't know,
Shout out G.
shout out G.
Who's here?
My
G.
wife is a real New Yorker, right? So she's like, so you guys have like kangaroos in your backyards, like we have raccoons, right?
Hey, what we do have are the spiders, so I'll give you that.
Fuck that.
Yeah, but not listen.
Fuck that.
We have spiders as
But
big
they're not
as
all.
big as your
They
hand.
come out on the wall every now and
I'm
then.
picturing
You
them
gotta
like
kill
that big, bro.
They're not all that big.
Don't you have scorpions too?
Yeah.
They're okay.
No.
They're okay.
Huntsman.
She's talking about the huntsman spider.
They're harmless though.
They don't
They-
bite.
They just look. They
No,
look
their owls
vicious.
don't hurt you.
That's why, they're not harmless
They're
because
not.
they look vicious.
They look vicious.
Wait, but
They're not harmless if they can give you a heart attack.
Yeah. That's what they do. They give you a heart attack.
Ask a question.
Yes, Jake.
Yes.
Why are you guys called Sushi Mango?
well,
Well,
I
this
was
is-
about to say that.
This
Well, you
is
wanna
Anthony's
repeat that?
question.
That's normally the first question we get asked. So.
Comedy, restaurant, branding, superstardom, none of it explains Sushi Mango.
Yeah, well, that's a good question. So, in the beginning,
In the Beninging. Have you
seen that
seen
video?
that? Have you seen
In
that?
the
video?
beginning,
I was like, what?
In
the?
the biggie. In the
Sure.
Beninging.
yeah, we're getting a bit rowdy now. All right, so in the beginning,
Long day, man. Cut us some slack.
in the beginning, we weren't doing this Italian style, the ethnic or style humor. We were just doing everyday stuff. And when we were coming up with a name, we'd started to do this content. I was at my brother's house, and we were looking at each other. What should we call this thing? And his 3-year-old son at the time was on the toilet, screaming, "Sushi mango, sushi mango, sushi mango." And we're like, I was like, "What's your son saying? Can you please get it to?" I don't know.
Georgina, my wife's name Georgina. Can you go get Luca, please? All right. 'Cause my son's name Luca, and so he's still going Sushi Mango. I'm like, we're trying to work here. Just relax.
Yeah.
And he's going Sushi Mango, Sushi Mango, and
And we're like, you know what? That sounds like a quirky, unexplainable, imbecilic name. And we're like, that sounds like
That's
It has nothing to do.
That's
We're just
the
like, it's
that's the
catchy.
depth.
It's-
That's
Well,
the
that way
depth.
you can go any direction with it at that point.
No,
It's
but
catchy.
we didn't have a direction at the time. It was just that was it. It would just sound like a quirky, funny name.
It sounded funny. It
mean,
sounded
that'll do.
stupid. It sounded silly, and we're like, we'll take that. That's it. We're called Sushi Mango.
We were having discussions up until today. Like, how do we pronounce it? Like, is it?
Yeah, I was so worried. I was like, is it
People are like
pronounced a different
sushi?
way? It's like double O. Am I going to say it wrong?
Just
Well,
something.
because we didn't want to make it look sushi.
Other would have been
Sushi
Soshi.
manja, like-
Other would have been. It would have been Soshi. Soshi if it didn't have
Sushi?
Soshi Mango.
Wow.
What about sushi manja?
Sushi Mango.
Manja.
Manja.
Sushi.
Some people say
And that's what
sushi.
happened, and that's how it happened. And it was like, it's an interesting name. Okay, let's use that, and that was it. And it stuck. You know.
I tell you what, it's one of the most. It's the number one question we get. We get it all the time. Everyone's like, "Why the name Sushi Mango? Why the?" But at the end of it, they go to us. You know what? There's something about that name. It's like you remember it. It's like it's so obscure.
You remember until someone goes, "What's the sushi mushi thing?"
Yeah,
you're doing?"
yeah. What's a mushy mango?
Well, I would imagine it's probably harder for your core fans to remember. Like a lot of the off the boat Italians, and
Yeah,
they probably
well,
come
you know
up with their own
what?
name. For
You know what? Honestly, it's not because it's like you said.
Believe it or
it's
not.
something that perplexes people, and they're like, they're dressing up like my nonna and granddad, and they're portraying that. But why they call it's something that people.
Sound Japanese.
Yeah, Why
That's
is
what
it
I
like a
thought. I'm
Japanese-
not gonna lie to you. I was like, why do they sound Japanese, but they would have Italian comedy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's, and then a lot of the times when people would say, "Oh, have you seen Sushi Mango?" and people go, "What are you talking about?" and they go, the three guys, the old guys that get dressed up. Oh yeah, I know who they are. So
Yeah.
it took a little bit of time to connect that back home as well.
But it's so absurd that it's
Yeah,
unforgettable.
that's exactly what it is.
It's so absurd that it's
It makes
unforgettable.
no sense.
Yeah.
It makes it. In fact, it makes so much no sense that it makes some sense. in the-
Truthfully speaking, I always knew who you guys were. I've seen your content. I am a fan, but I never made the connection. It just didn't click.
And I think that happened on, obviously early on in Australia. So I think that's where we're sort of here at the moment.
Yeah.
People know the videos. People have seen the videos.
100%.
People know the characters.
Oh yeah.
So this is why we've done this tour, is because it's like people know and see it all, but they might not connect it with Sushi Mango, and now like, oh fuck, these guys are coming here. We're going to go see them.
100%.
Yeah, this is going to
So-
be tremendous.
Absolutely.
This is an international tour. New Zealand, the UK, Canada, the United States. I mean, I can't wait to see you guys February 28th at Town Hall in New York City.
Yep.
But what comes after this tour? What's the future of Sushi Mango? Because you're speaking about unforgettable. You guys are really here to stay. This is just the precipice of this.
Well, so we
international
want to come
stardom.
back here every year. Like we're going to come back and do a show here every year.
We want to crack the market here. We want to come here every year and see you guys every year.
Actually, that's what I was about to say. Even if we don't do a show, we want to come and see the gang.
Well, at
Listen.
the very least, you've made a lot of friends today.
Absolutely.
100%.
I don't want to say the way you guys the way you guys have ingrained yourself into the fabric of the American culture, the Italian American culture. We want to become
Yeah.
part. We'd love
Honestly,
to
we're
become part of
jealous
the
of it.
Italo-American
Really, man.
culture.
We'd
love to be a part.
Well,
of
America's
it, you know?
ready for you guys.
No, we're
Yeah.
I would
envious.
say.
We're envious of the Italian connection you guys still have here, because we're losing it back home. The Italian people are fading away. The young generation aren't holding on to it as much as you guys do. When going back to when I sang at weddings, you know how hard it was to get people to dance to Luna Mensomata?
Yeah.
Really?
Oh my god!
Really?
I feel like here everyone goes nuts, even if
Yeah.
you're not
Oh
Italian.
my
Even
god!
the
It
Americans
was like,
go nuts.
get
Yeah,
up.
right?
There you go.
It was like, get up, enjoy
Tuvo
your culture. What's
Americano.
wrong with you?
Everyone goes nuts.
That was the remix of that song was on the
Right,
on the chart.
2008, right?
Right.
It was the number one.
Papa Americano,
Sure.
the remix of Tuvo Val Americano.
Yeah, but even Luna, but mate, just
It popped off here.
you don't understand how hard it was. So we're losing it. So we're very envious. Of
We
you
feel
guys
home here.
when we love it here, man.
We feel home. Honestly, we feel
Absolutely.
home in especially in New.
See,
We
this
do.
is
We
like
feel
the
home.
Italian thing here. It's like Italian flag. We don't see Italian flags much back at home.
No.
And here they're everywhere.
They're
It's
they're
like
up
amazing.
everywhere. There's like
In the
every
streets.
store is in streets,
Yeah.
Italian flags, and we're like, this is like it's like home, man. It really does. So we want to be here. We want to crack the market. We want to stay with you guys. Being like you guys are, that's it. We're friends for life now. All we need is to break bread,
Well,
have
we have
conversations, and have
several
laughs.
times today.
Several
Yeah, we
times.
have.
Yeah.
We're doing
A lot of bread
We went to
today.
Mario's.
A lot of carbs.
Renato Brothers. We went to Luigi's in Park Slope. We ended up at G&R Deli. Not
Deli.
without a stop to the garage in Brooklyn
Garage
for
in
these.
Brooklyn.
for
We
these
did it
little
all today,
attractions.
man.
We
Might
did
have
it
been
all.
The most Italian day I've
Yeah.
ever
Right.
We're
covered
doing
every
a-
base.
we're
You guys
doing a-
covered every base.
Literally.
We
Even
even
for the
when we
clothes
got
we're
to G&R Deli, we not only had sandwiches from G&R Deli, but Anthony from DeFonte's
Yeah, he was
there
there
with a
too.
platter of sandwiches. It was like
It was
we
amazing.
really
What an
got the
amazing
whole
day.
tour de New York City.
I think we've still got 40 Adele in the car.
Yeah, we do actually.
we do.
And I'm gonna eat
you
them.
guys, if you guys have a toaster oven, that's the best way to heat those up. By the way,
Yeah?
you got to
Yeah.
put them in a toaster oven. You can't eat them like
they're
that.
not going to make it in the toaster oven. They're going to be eating in the Uber on the way
Yeah,
home.
Fair-
yeah,
fair
we're gonna
enough.
smash that.
But we're doing a TV show back home in Melbourne as well. And
Wow.
Yeah, and
Do you
we're
guys
ho-
have Paramount Plus here?
Of
Yeah.
course, yeah.
Yeah.
We're-
doing-
so we've done a deal. We're doing a deal with Paramount Plus and Channel 10 in Australia. So we just shot a pilot, and they want an 8-part series. They've almost commissioned the series. We're at like 98%.
Does it have a title?
It
It's
does.
called.
Can we say?
Are we allowed?
It's a working title?
Okay, it's got two brothers.
It's two brothers and a friend.
Fuck it, I'll tell
Two
you.
brothers in La
Fuck it,
Barba.
I'll tell you. It's called Sushi Mango Drive By.
And the reason why it's called Drive By is because the 3 dads and the 3 mums sometimes interview a celebrity in a car.
Oh,
But it's
wow.
not.
So
It's
it's
a little bit like comedians in cars having coffee, but
We go.
it's a
somewhere.
3-part. It's like 3 parts. We have the beginning, which is kind of
Sitcom-y,
home
homie,
sketchy.
sketch.
Then we get in the car, interview the celebrity, and then we get to our destination. Whether it be a fruit shop or whether it be a fish shop,
deli.
or a deli, and it's just carnage with the celebrity. So it's 3 parts.
The
So
reason
3
why,
parts.
the reason why,
Yeah.
well, when I say 3 parts, it's 20,
It's the
23
way,
minutes.
23 minutes.
Right.
That's the way it's structured.
You know, it's structured
Home,
like that.
get in the car with the celebrity, get to our destination, and
And, you know, the ethnic dads are famous in this thing, and they've got an agent, and the agent rings and says, "Listen, you got to go pick up whoever, sell the voice." And we're like, "Who?" Well, we don't want to go pick up an old one. Da, 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 this, that, there. No, come on, it's going to be this. Okay, you go. We're getting the car. Oh, we're going to go to the fruit shop. We'll pick him up on the way in the fruit shop, and off we go. And then we let you come in the fruit shop with us, and it's just
And you're hoodwinked into running errands with
correct.
Yeah.
with
With
the
a- with a-
wogs.
with a celebrity.
He's coming along with us. We're begrudgingly famous.
Yeah.
We don't want to be famous because we're the ethnic
they're
dads.
the
Our
son.
sons put us on the internet.
Right.
We
We don't
wrote.
want to be famous. Okay, we'll pick him up on the way to where we need to go. We'll do this stupid interview for you and whatever. And that's carnage happens from that point. But I don't think
it's a roast. It's a live roast, so to speak.
So we'd like to. So if it goes well in Australia, we want to actually do that here.
Yeah.
We
I
wanna
don't
do
think
a
it- I don't-
season
Oh, 100.
here.
But that would
I
go
don't think
over
it'll reach
tremendously.
here first season if it does well. But eventually, the dream is like once if it does kick off, we can come and do it with some celebrities here in the States, and But we'll see. We've got a lot of things. We're writing a movie. We've got we've got to write a new so the show that we're presenting here in around the world, in America and everywhere else, is the show that we've previously done. We're in the we're starting to write a new show for 2024 in Australia to tour nationally, and hopefully, with any luck, we'll bring that here as well. So our next show will be that, and
we write all of our shows now, so that we can bring them here.
Yeah.
We have sayings so instead of using words that are English or Australian, like the word root, for example.
Do you know what the word root
Okay,
is?
the word root in Australia.
So we used to say, like, I had some Australian friends out in L.A. say that it's funny that we say we're rooting for you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because of what rooting means.
Roots means you're having sex.
Yeah.
Okay. In Australia, you're going for a root. That means you're going for.
I had a root
It means
last
it's bang
night.
o'clock.
It's bang
Yeah.
o'clock.
Yeah.
Exactly. But so we couldn't, we used that word once, we couldn't use that, so we use something else now.
Yeah,
so it's very understandable
that's
for everyone
true.
else.
The previous show.
Wow, I hadn't thought about that when
Yeah.
bringing a show internationally. The difference.
Yeah,
in
you got to
phrases and what
curb
they
it.
mean,
Like
yeah.
We went to
'Cause
Canada.
it could really change the
Changed everything.
punchline.
Absolutely.
We went to Canada, and we did this whole thing about in Australia. So in Australia, when we've got a lot of lemon trees. Do you have lemon trees here? No lemon trees, right?
No,
Christmas
we-
trees?
out
In
in
California.
they grow
In
fig.
California, you don't have any in
It's
New
too
York, right?
cold here.
No,
So
not
we
really,
were
too
in
cold.
Toronto.
Too cold.
We wrap our fig trees up
We-
in burlap.
Yes,
winter,
and we
yeah.
found that
Yeah.
in Canada.
We piss on the lemon trees in Australia because the acid
Piss?
because the acid in the pea makes the lemons juicier.
Is that
So,
right?
yeah,
Yeah,
so
no,
we're-
that's not a joke.
Scientific.
So actually, you urinate on your lemon tree or citrus tree, lemons or oranges or mandarin tree. No,
So it's like when you pee on a jellyfish bite.
No,
No. It's
No,
like,
this is the urine acts as some sort of fertilizer for the lemons.
yes, it's
Yes,
like some sort of
yes.
the acidity in the piss. It helps the.
Yeah, we piss on lemon trees, man.
Yeah, it's not,
And
it's
so-
not even a joke.
So you piss on the lemon tree, and it helps the lemons.
This one just died
All right.
somewhere.
That's fine.
No, it was recording that, but it's just fucking.
Imagine
It died?
None of
Yeah.
it recorded.
So how do we wrap it up now?
We just come over there.
Hold on. I got extra.
We had such a great time here chopping it up with Sooshi Mango that all the cameras died.
But we've been here for so long, all the batteries ran out. We just talked the shit out of everything.
So, man, we did have a couple of drinks. We're not gonna lie.
This is the
Yeah.
best.
Listen, it's been quite a day.
It has been.
We ate a bunch, we drank a bunch, we laughed a lot,
Come here, you
It's
fucking
been
kid.
tremendous.
and I
It's
and I
been
can't-
tremendous.
And I can't wait for the next time. For Anthony Sharada, we thank Sooshi Mango. We thank all of you for watching. This has been another great episode
Yeah, we hope so.
of
We hope
Breaking Bread.
Let me tell you guys, I just want to say something. With Sooshi Mango, when you're in, and you guys are friends for life. What you guys have done for us today, we will never forget. No matter how far we get in life, how many heights we reach. Slurring a bit, but seriously, guys, I love you.
Listen,
There you
today's been about.
Kiss on the head there. I love you guys, seriously.
And that was just our Wednesday. You should see what our Thursday
Oh
is.
man, I'm done here, man.
I don't
I'm done
even
with
know.
Wednesday. Seriously, thank you guys for everything you've done. And
Thanks,
we
guys.
love
Hey,
you
we'll
guys.
see you all at the show. We're going to see the boys at the show. Everyone, come down.
February 28th. Other dates: DC, California, Boston, DC, California, Boston,
joint
Canada,
celebration.
New Zealand,
London.
London. SushiMango.com for all those tour dates. America, buy your tickets. These guys are tremendous. You're going to see them a lot.
How you doing?
Mango. This has been Breaking Bread. We love you guys. Take it easy.
Forget about it.
Forget about it. How you doing?
How you doing?
Guys.